This is the area that's dry rotted, possibly termites. All the way up to the top. And you can see mud daubs there where it might have been termites. So we're going to attempt to take that whole frame piece off. But first I will remove the door. Okay, I pre-loosened the screws and tried to take some of the paint off to make it easier to unscrew. I used the powered screwdriver to take them out. And I'll put the screws away for later use, because I hope to reuse these door and hinges. Then I put it back together. Now I'm going to fairly firmly score around the edges of the molding or the casing, because I'm hoping to reuse that part. Do both sides. This side. I figured out it's easier to use this end with the hammer. To do that, but that's okay. Okay, got that piece out, but looks like it has damage too, so we won't be reusing that piece. So once I remove the casing, you can see there's more damage on the inside, the door frame there, from termites or rot. I haven't seen any active termites though, but this is right next to a drain that tends to back up, and the water sometimes flows down here, so possibly just rot. Okay, now I'm going to use the reciprocal saw to cut along between the frame and the concrete wall, and see if that'll help to remove this. Now I'm working on prying this frame piece loose, so I'll go along the edges on each side and pry apart as I can. This piece won't be reused, so it's okay if it comes apart in pieces. So about a half hour later, still prying. A lot of this is coming off in pieces because it's so disintegrated. However, it looks like there's nice concrete. Looks like they dug the frame into mud. I'll know better. So that doesn't help with our ground contact and getting termites and rot. So, and part of why the bottom didn't come off too easy because it's dug into the ground. Had to saw off the bottom, but now the rest should pry off pretty well. Let's hope. I'm still trying not to damage the top header, and I'm hoping there's no rot in that header. I think I'm finally ready to pull the header or the side frame out. So here goes. Maybe. Damage is pretty much all along there. And unfortunately, it looks like it's over that header. So, decide whether to take that header off or not. So I do have some holes into the header piece there. I'm down to nails and concrete. Yeah, it goes down about about 4 inches deep here, down to concrete again. So I'm gonna vacuum that out so I don't have no problem. Okay, got the sideboard removed, set in cement on the bottom, and cut and reset this board. Didn't quite get it as high as I'd like to, so I'll have to fill that in. Had to get a hammer drill to drill through the concrete. So we're going to drill the holes. Drilling and placing the concrete screws is done. Now I've wedged the tops because there was a gap there, so I used little wedges. And now I will silicone caulk around the area and putty some of the holes. Okay, caulking and puttying is done to seal up the door frame. I'm going to use the old piece of molding, which is no good anymore. Save that so I can cut it to match the top rail. I want to use the jigsaw to cut this top piece out. Do the jigsaw. That took longer than I expected, but finally got the new frame door jamb in, got the molding in. This is a basement door, so I'm not too worried about looks, but I will prime and paint. The hardest part was getting that door adjusted in. Okay, but the door does open and close now, freely. And got the screen door, open and close, and locking. I'm sure there's easier ways, but got the job done.